Sister lives in town.
Alright, it's 3 p.m. The snow has now just changed to sleet, so that's the end of the snow totals. Updated snow total. Hopefully you can tell here. It's about 4.6 inches. As the sleet comes down.
Interesting.
Oh, termites, they hate ice, so we redid the whole house. Frank, this is Kate.
Nice to meet you.
So who's ready for dinner?
Here's a better idea. Call Terminix. More people trust our unlimited lifetime protection plan featuring Centricon. 1-800-TERMINIX. No bugs, no hassles.
How's the soup?
Great.
100-mile-per-hour winds, roofs blown off houses, 20-foot storm surge, and that's just the beginning. Get ready for 5 amazing nights of the most incredible storms you'll ever see. Storm Week begins tonight on the Weather Channel with Raging Hurricane. Watch nature wreak havoc on people, property, and paradise. Raging Hurricane, it's intense. Are you ready? Storm Week starts tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, only on the Weather Channel.
Storm Week, tonight at 8 on the Weather Channel. And now, here's your local on the 8s. Currently, the temperature is 30 degrees, with some snow flurries. The forecast for your area. Your extended forecast.
You're watching the Weather Channel. Live by it.
Check this out. Winter storm across the Northeast. How much snow are we going to get? Details coming up. And parts of the Midwest are also dealing with spring snow this Monday. We'll have the complete story coming up. Hello and welcome to Weather Center. I'm Janetta Jones. We're following spring snow in the Northeast this Monday, and I'll tell you what, it is really coming down in New York City. As a matter of fact, we've seen the snow heavy at times. It's a heavy, wet snow. The roads are slushy. We could wind up with quite a bit of snow before all is said and done. Kind of changing over in Philadelphia, but continuing up north into Hartford. Boston will soon get into the snow as well. With more on the situation in New York, we go to our winter weather expert, Paul Cosin.
Well, officially, we've seen about 4 inches of snow in New York City, at least at the reporting stations of JFK, and LaGuardia Airport, and even Mike Seidel reports in with about 4 inches in the southern portion of Central Park. It does look, or it had looked like the snow was going to wind down pretty fast, but just looking at the latest radar shows as that area of lack of snow came close to New York, it filled in, and now we've got some darker greens indicating that at least another hour of snow looks likely before we get back onto the western edge of the storm system. So there's still enough rising motion in the atmosphere, and just looking at some pictures inside New York City right now, the snow is coming down, but not at rates like we saw about an hour or so ago. So we'll expect perhaps another inch and a half before it finally winds down this evening. And even this evening, there will be periods of light snow mixing with sleet, and I hate to say it, even a little bit of freezing rain. I don't see too much in the way of problems, but as the sun goes down, a little bit of icing on untreated roads could be a problem. But it is going to be a difficult commute simply because it's only 30 degrees, and we are having slush even on some of the main roads. Most of the highways probably fine, but all the side streets undoubtedly messy with snow that has come down that quickly. There's still a fairly widespread circulation, but the storm has gotten what we call strung out. One portion has raced out to the northeast. That's associated with the very heavy snowfall. There's another area that was associated, excuse me, with about 15 inches of snow in southern Minnesota, 5 inches in Detroit. We see this arc of snow stretching into western New York. That band of snowfall will continue to move across New England tonight before ending tomorrow morning. So several inches of snow are likely around I-90 into the Albany area and eventually into Boston, even though you've missed out on today's heavy snowfall. Matter of fact, later in the week, we're going to see another storm system develop here down in the Gulf of Mexico. And I hate to say this, while it will likely not be snow, it will just continue a long bout of really nasty weather continuing in the northeast. Here's our comma-shaped cloud. It continues to be stretched out. Here's our strong jet stream, our area of heavy precipitation, but there's still an area of rising motion extending down to the back, so we'll still see the snow continuing across the upper Great Lakes. Light snow occasionally continuing in New England, and we'll see that moving across the mid-Atlantic states as just some occasional light rain, freezing rain, and snow. Total snowfall accumulations will be on the order of about 4, 5, maybe 6 inches in part of New York area. Locally, we could see some snowfall totals up around 8 inches of snow across northeastern Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey, extreme southeastern New York, and in generally we're expecting about 2 to 4 inches across Buffalo down through Boston, Massachusetts. Here, if we just take a close look at the radar in New York City, we can see some of the darker greens again coming up from the southwest, indicating, indicating that your visibilities will be coming down with the continuation of snow. So look for 4 to 5 inches of snow before it finally winds down this evening. This is the heaviest snow in over 20 years in New York City during the month of April, and will put you pretty close to 50 inches for the season. What a remarkable season. It's time for spring. Let's turn it back to Jeanette.
All right, thanks a lot, Paul. Big time remarkable season that you've had across the Northeast. What's going on in the Southeast? Big time problems with severe thunderstorms. In some locations, we've had hail up to softball size. That's how nasty this weather is. Into Texas, Louisiana, extending back into parts of Georgia where some severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect. Also, a tornado watch is still in effect for a few more minutes. We are looking at a massive coverage with our severe thunderstorm watches that extend from Mississippi back into parts of Texas. Want to also remind you, we have the threat for flash flooding. Some locations have already picked up 5 to 7 inches of rain. We're adding more on top of that. There's nowhere for this water to go, basically. And you can see all of these areas just getting drenched with the heavy rain. And these are the nasty thunderstorms that I wanted to show you in parts of Louisiana. As a matter of fact, the big-time thunderstorms extend all the way back towards Houston and Galveston into Beaumont, as well as Louisiana, Bogalusa, Louisiana. Real bad thunderstorm bearing down on you. This storm has had a history of producing hail up to possibly baseball size. So we just want to let you know, just stay inside if you can. Hopefully your car's in the garage and you're not having to worry about that hail pounding your car, but it looks as if we're going to see some problems right on through the afternoon. New Orleans, it's coming in, and we think it's going to set up shop, unfortunately, with the heavy rain. A lot of folks in town for the Final Four. Looks as if you're going to have to be inside at this hour, and the heavy rain continues on into Hattiesburg and Mobile Bay. A lot of spring breakers heading out in Pensacola. Looks as if most of the strong thunderstorms are to your north and west right now. It's not to say you're totally out of the woods. We could see some action later this afternoon. Birmingham is okay, but down towards Montgomery and southward from there, it's looking pretty nasty. Temperatures are much colder than average for this time of year, as you might have guessed, across the Northeast. And it's also looking pretty chilly across Des Moines, right on into the Great Lakes, where snow showers are still likely this evening. The snow should be tapering off in the morning hours in New England. However, strong thunderstorms still a story tomorrow along the Gulf Coast. How long is that going to last, and how will it affect your driving? Stay tuned for more.
Tired of playing the mortgage rate game? You know, when you hear one of those ads that promise you the moon and you call up only to find out that the points are too high and there are hidden fees attached? Well, at Ditech.com, there are no games, just low fixed rates with no middleman or broker fees. You can be pre-qualified online or over the telephone. There's no advance fees prior to closing and no cancellation fees. Do it now before the rates go up. Ditech.com. Call 1-800-71-FIXED.
Watch my dark circles, puffiness, and wrinkles disappear instantly. Sudden Change Under Eye does it. It's guaranteed to give you these results instantly. Sudden Change Under Eye Lift.
Well, customer satisfaction is at an all-time high, and I think we know who's responsible for that. And no, I'm not talking about myself, although my wife would beg to differ.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Sometimes when we touch,
Why do people love Geico?
the honesty's too much, and I have to close my eyes.
Because 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Huh, he gets all the attention. But we know how it'll end. Streaks, spots, give me some Jet Dry. Just one bottle a month.
Jet Dry, once a month for sparkling dishes. Get money-saving coupons at jetdry.com.
Brittle nails that break and won't grow? Get Nutrinail. Short brittle nails grow in just 5 to 7 days.
Okay, it's now 3:50 p.m. It's sleeting, but it looks like it's going to end soon, so I'm going to do a final filming now, and then that'll be the end. No additional snowfall accumulation. Still 4.6 is our total. The final, I would assume. 4PM.